This video is going to show you a slightly optimized solo GM on Inverted Spire. This will be my final run of the week. Just a kind reminder, people, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, as it is critical to the success of my channel. So, this was a solo GM on Inverted Spire sub 28 minutes, which doesn't sound impressive, and I'm not saying it is, but we have a little website called gm.report. This tracks leaderboards for Grandmaster Nightfalls. I highly recommend that you use this website a lot if you're into Grandmasters. It tracks everything. Anyways, how many players do you think has beaten this solo less than 28 minutes? I want you to answer the question. Take a guess. You've got 5 seconds. Okay, so what did you guess? 500? 700 players that have beat this less than 28 minutes solo? Absolutely not. It's going to warp your perspective. Only 48 players have beaten this in less than 28 minutes. 48! Because Inverted Spire is a hard speed run. It's very, very difficult to do this fast because of all the things that can go wrong. Only 40, so 50 players as of the 9:15 UK time. Right, that'll change. So, yes, this is not a pure speed run, but I am on console. Hello, look, it says invite friends, triangle. That means I'm on console, look, not on PC. And at the upper limits of play, yes, if you're on PC, you will get more out of your kit for Destiny in high-end gameplay for PvE. It's absolute certain. So I'm just saying, yeah, this run's not fully optimized, but it's top 50 for times on Inverted Spire. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. That's decent. I'm happy with it. So the build is as follows. All this information is the build portion of the video. I'm not going to talk about the build too much in the run. All the information is going to be at the start of it. So we're using Glacial Quake for Hail of the Storm Chunkin with a bottle popped at all times throughout this to get increased damage. Thruster Dodge. We don't need a barricade for this. We need to keep popping this for ability energy. Frenzy Blade, because you get 3 of them, and that works with Consecration, so you get 3, of course. Glacier Grenade is very good for darkness energy, and it chunks, especially with a Hail of the Storm bottle popped. That's why we use Glacier. Aspects of Consecration and Knockout, because it's the meta for Prismatic Titan, it's undeniable. Fragments were as follows. Facet of Balance. The reason why is that we get ability energy back. It's a very, very good fragment. Prismatic users, you need to use this one. Facet of Purpose for Frost Armor, because when you pick up an Orb of Power, which is all the time for me, I get Frost Armor, and the artifact mods have Frost Armor on it, so I can play into Frost Armor. So it's a no-brainer. Facet of Protection for Resistance. You always use Facet of Protection no matter what Prismatic build you ever use, ever. I don't care what realm you're in. If you're in the Zer realm where there's the Speakers of the Nines knocking about and stuff, you still use Facet of Protection no matter what. On a Hunter, Titan Walk, no matter what. Facet of Dawn, because we need Radiant buff to break barrier shields, because we've got no barrier breaking weapon on. Finally, Facet of Awakening, because it gives you plus 10 free resilience for free, and it gives you elemental pickups, which is very good. It's a slept-on fragment. Make sure that you're using it. All the top-tier players are using it as well. Facet of Awakening. Not only that, it allows you to build your stats properly on a Prismatic Titan, and I'm going to tell you how to do it properly. First, number 1 priority is Resilience. Get T10 Resilience. Number 1, get that. Right, good, you've got it. Next goal is Strength. Nothing else, not recovery, no mobility stuff. Strength is your second directive to get to your 10 strength if you can. Then after that, have a decent nade energy. 7 upwards is fine. 6 is a bit too low. Recovery doesn't matter too much on a Titan when you're on Prismatic Consecration. You could rock a +2 recovery. It would be you'd be absolutely fine, Guardian. Base recovery is trash in the game anyways. It's not, recovery is trash in the game as opposed to what it used to be anyways. On other builds it matters, recovery, but not on this build. Okay? Right. You've got that. Weapons are Exotic Grenade Launcher Witherhoard, Velocity Baton with Demo Attrition Orbs. Attrition Orbs is part of the strategy. And a Stasis LMG because we need more darkness energy from my heavy slot. So I wanted a machine gun on and I wanted a Stasis one on, not arc, because I don't want light energy. I need more dark energy because Attrition Orbs Original gives me so much light energy I don't need anymore. I need darkness. Witherhoard will give me dark and light, yes, but there's times when we use the LMG. Anyways, mods, helmet, double hands on for increased super regen, special ammo finder because we're using double special, heavy handed for orbs on melee kill, void loader, melee kickstart so that we get more melees, double void, resist and concussive dampener. That is the best resistance, the absolute best resistance you can use on a CQC build for Invaded Spire. Stasis holster because we've got a Stasis LMG on. Invigoration, recuperation for increased melee and health on orb pickup via attrition orbs. And finally, double outreach on the class item to give us melee energy when we dodge with our thruster. Proximity ward when we do want to do a finisher, we get that overshield. It's very useful and it costs no armor charges. And finally, the exotic class item was Spirit of Inmost Light and Symphoceps. That was literally everything about the setup, etc. So as we start the run, we want to get a thruster dodge straight away and we'll summon our Sparrow or Skimmer to the entrance. Now I'm going to deal with the first set of goblins because they generally get in my way a little bit. So I'm just going to kill them, use my GLs, and try and get as much damage on these two overloads as possible. Now we have not got Symphoceps procced, but that's fine. We do want super and we do want our Transcendence. If we get Transcendence right now, I want to pop it. That is my actual goal. So in this video, I'm going to tell you my goals as we go along, if you know what I mean. So right now, I want it, my Transcendence, which we just got there. That allows us to clear these enemies. We don't need to clear the harpies, of course, only the overlords, which we've just done there. Now we're going to take down the box. We can skip the rest of the ads. We're 56 seconds in. Sometimes the harpies do this where they don't despawn. Them harpies should be despawned. That is an RNG thing. Look, they should be despawned, so they were melting me there. So that lost me time. That's fine. So my strategy now has developed on this. So what I do is I go left and right to take down the red laser thing, right? Then we look at where the Hydra spawned. He spawned this side, which we're going to push up and let Witherhoard deal with him. Right now, notice there's no ads on this side. On the opposite side of where the Hydra is, there's no ads. So you can kind of fight here. On an aggressive CQC build, you can kind of play around. You don't need to use scout rifles and stuff on builds like this. We'll get a Witherhoard shot down, then super. Now, if I was running T-Crash is better for this. T-Crash is better for a lot of things that Glacial Quake isn't, but some other things Glacial Quake's better for. I'm going to tell you exactly this, right? Now, we're using the LMG to take down the boxes because we have no scout on, so it is what it is. With the T-Crash versus Glacial Quake usage on this solo in particular, I was dying to supplicants quite a lot when I was playing really aggressive, and I was starting to get tired and sick of it. So the T-Crash strat is quicker, but I settled for Glacial Quake chunking with the bottle because it does enough for me at the boss anyways, and I get more Glacial Quakes than we do T-Crashes because T-Crashes are one-off super and Glacial Quake's Roman. So you still get more Glacials than what you do T-Crash. I know because I've ran both strats. For my playstyle, I preferred having Glacial Quake, especially for the Vex section where you've got to kill loads of supplicants and enemies. It's just annoying. So I liked Glacial for that reason. I do realise that T-Crash would have been better for the final boss, but Glacial Quake held its own and definitely did a good enough job for me, obviously. So this room here, we're going to pop a Transcendence and we want to get a Shackle down right away, the Transcendence Shackle. This will jolt targets, then we'll get our melee, then our next goal is the snipers. The snipers are a nightmare, but We're going to shackle, the barrier to our left, get some Witherhoard damage, and we have Radiant, only 4 seconds of Radiant, so we need to time our damage with the GLs properly and our melee on the barrier. Now look at this for the stun. We get a good stun on these snipers. Generally they're more of a nightmare than that, but luckily we dealt with them. Okay, so now I'm wanting to do some chip damage to this Overload. We are going to push up in just 1 minute, but I'm building up Transcendence energy because that's ultimately what I want. We do have super, yes, but I'm not going to use it at this point. So me doing that little bit of chip damage on that cliffside just allows me to not have to pop Transcendence yet, because the timer on Transcendence, so it's gonna make sense. Look at my meters. So I've got light energy but not dark. So let's whip out the damn machine gun. You get lots of dark energy with machine guns, whatever it be, light, dark, whatever you need. So remember that for your build kits, right, when you're building up Transcendence energy. So look, we pop Transcendence now because the reason being, we shackle all these Overloads in here. Look at the amount of damage we clear out, all adds, and look at our Transcendence bar. We have 70% left ready for Rivens. So we have done 2 things. We have dealt with the Overloads plus Rivens. I think I end up popping Survey because I have a dicey moment. I can't remember. Yeah, I do. Look, see what happened there is I didn't slide properly with my melee, so I ended up doing the wrong melee. So I just felt, you know what, I'll just use super. That's fine. No time lost there. We're all right. Because I don't need my super for anything anyways at this minute or coming up. So it was fine to actually pop it, even though there was a slight error of me not sliding there correctly. So we're not even going for ammo crate. I know you're going to shout at the screen, there's ammo crates. I don't need it. It's a time waste. It's a time waste to go for the brick, for the brick down there. I've got plenty of special, as you can see, and max heavy, so I'm good. So the strategy here is we clear these goblins here, and we're going to clear this ad here as well, because he pushes us while we're trying to deal with the barrier. And I kind of don't like being hit in the back. So we deal with him quickly, get a dodge there to reproc our melee energy. And these snipers, we need to deal with these snipers quickly. This barrier is awkward without a shotgun, which I know a shotgun would speed this up if I run a barrier shotgun and stuff. But I wanted to try a Witherhoard strat at the boss, which it works out really well actually. And we can get away with stun and barriers. Like, look, we do our chip damage, get a melee, not a consecration one, but just a standard one, because we can't consecration him on that small podium. I don't know what, like, it's very difficult to do that. So instead, proc a Radiant via a standard Frenzied Blade, then use machine gun, because there's no mod in my machine gun, so it'll get barrier rounds for a few seconds. Then we can proceed on. The barrier champ was a skip, by the way, the one I forgot to mention. The Pokeball champ is a skip, just don't open them up and you will get platinum rank. This is a platinum rank run, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't post it otherwise. It's a platinum rank run, totally. All the skips are fair game, you still get platinum rank. So now we're going to go to the left, so we're obviously going to do the skip on the tank section as well. I like to skimmer it rather than sparrow it, because the odds of dying on a sparrow are higher than you think when you're sparrowing over the battlefield. There's countless times I've died on the battlefield randomly. Cyclops are buggy in this. In fact, Spire's buggy. It's a very buggy GM, and that's another annoyance to it, to be honest. A lot of teleporting ads, supplicants teleporting, Cyclops is doing weird attacks, you know, when you think they're dead and then they shoot you as they die type deal, and you know, and they one shot. So it can be very annoying to do a half decent run. We'll pop a Transcendence here because the shackle does work on these Rivens. So we have a super to use, which I will use if I think I need to, but I'm not going to use it just in case, because we don't want to open up the Cyclops. See, when I super and go wander outside of this crater thing, the Cyclops opens up. Not the one I killed, another one, and he can 1KO you. It's RNG if he does. So rather than have that happen, I chose to shackle and do Witherhoard damage to the Rivens instead. Right, so we want to go right side first, and my goal right now is to take care of the Overload. But we're going to deal with left plate first, not right. I just always do left. It's just what I always end up doing. I think because the ads on left do teleport. They have a bad problem of teleporting, but the ads on right don't as much. So ammo check, we are low now on the velocity baton. We have, we have 6 Witherhorde, which is quite a lot. But yeah, not quite, ammo-wise for velocity. But we get plenty of ammo because we are going to spam LMG a little bit. And when we get the LMG kills, we'll end up getting special bricks. So we'll take down the crystal and then we'll get a consecration slam right away. Sometimes it's buggy with the damage it does. So it's weird. Sometimes I do that and it one-shots him. Maybe you could argue my Synthoceps wasn't proc there. I don't know. I didn't check that right there. But it is odd. Sometimes they 1-KO all of them and then sometimes they don't. That's fine though. So we capping our plate. We still have Transcendence, of course. Overload spawns in. So we're going to get a shackle in. A shackle grenade on the overload, and then we're going to do our consecration spams on the overload as well. We've got a nade there to use, may as well just spam it. You can spam your glacier, spam it as well because you want to get your next transcendence. So look at our transcendence. We are light energy confirmed, but dark energy we're a third, right? Which we'll end up getting it anyways. Witherhorde will help with that. The machine gun will help out with that. The grenade will help with that. So we do a consecration. So look. It kills everything, but it didn't quite hit the barrier, and I do not have Radiant. So we've lost time because of this. Because the barrier was RNG located at the back of the bubble. So that's kind of annoying. So I have to wait for my consecration slam until I can deal with him. I could super him, but it doesn't always work. They sometimes break out your glacier. So it's not worth it. I have my super anyway. I have my melee anyway. So we'll get with a hard dam, consecration, and now we can get our radiant stun. So this is a disadvantage to the run of not having a shotgun on, is that if you don't have a consecration slam, it's no big deal. You've got a intrinsic shotgun with barrier, but if you want to do like a Witherhorde or a Witherhorde strat, then you limit yourself because velocity has to go on. I hope you understand for a run like this, velocity baton has to be on. It's too good of a weapon not to use for this. It's so good. It's unbelievably good. Right? So it has to be on. We kill Overload here. The secondary Minotaur as well. We still have Transcendence. So that's dealt with. Now we're on second plate cap. What we on 11 minutes 20. That's not bad. We want to kill the barrier as soon as he spawns. So what I'm going to do is go closer, right? Then break this and then do a consecration slam. Hopefully the ads don't move too much, which they didn't. That takes them all out. There's some goblins pushing me in my back, but that's okay. And we're done. We just need to get on plate. These goblins, that's fine. We can build up some Transcendence energy. Look at the Transcendence energy that we got there. So we'll do Witherhorde, then Glacier. This will kill a Hydra just about. As long as you're decent enough with your crystals. Okay, so that's done now. And now we need to deal with the next Hydra, which we can do by taking advantage of the surrounding harpies. I'm looking to get Transcendence. I just get it now. I just pop it. So I can go in to, deal the damage. There's some harpies to my right, which I need to be careful of. So yeah, get some Witherhorde damage. And we're consecration those adds in our back. It's unfortunate because the harpies aren't spread near where the Hydra is. We were close here. We got absolutely wrecked there for a moment from the harpies. So yeah, harpies are killed. There's just 3 more now. We're good. Let's ammo check. So ammo check. Heavy ammo is very healthy. Special ammo not so much, but the special on the floor. So we're good. Obviously we've got full super. We've got no light, some dark energy, but we can get our light energy within 1 to 2 shots of velocity. So, we're always 10 to 15 seconds away from a Transcendence, which, is really good. We'll just Consecration Slam all these ads. It deals with all of it, look. plus sentinels, it'll kill them. So we're multitasking. So we're now on this section. This is why I've got Glacial Quake on, to be honest. I just think it helped me out massively rather than T-Crash, because being able to out-tank the supplicants is very handy. And it's good ad clear as well with Glacier. So we had a bad Bane. I had to push back a little bit because he teleported out of my Consecration. We can push up now though, which I'll get my Consecration Slam here. Then I'm going to pop Super, because it's there to use. I may as well. And then after this, I will then be able to pop my Transcendence. So this part's all about getting through the ad waves. Yes, there's a download progress, but the download progress is independent from the ad spawns. You still need to clear the ad spawns that happen, which there are 2 waves of supplicants. Now, this is where I was dying on runs when I was trying to do this fast. If I was staying in mid too long, you know, I was getting unlucky with supplicants and stuff. So this is where I start to play a little bit more passive with the supplicant phase. But once supplicants go, I'm right back to my playstyle. We've got a Transcendence to pop. There was a weird supplicant that come from nowhere there. So we'll pop Transcendence. Unfortunately, it's only Fanatics. I did not realise it was only Fanatics, but that's okay. We can build up towards our next Glacial Quake. That's exactly what we're doing. We can't kill any Harpies. It's a time loss. Basically, you don't want to kill any Harpies. It's just a time loss because they're an independent enemy spawn. So we get a good shackle here and kill that barrier. That's very good. Transcendence is about to end. We cannot kill the second barrier though, but that's okay. We have a super to use. I get a bad timing there. I get bad timing on that barrier. That's okay. Supplicant wave started. I'm gonna pop super. I think I get suppressed here as well. This is another thing. I hate this, man. So yeah, I end up getting suppressed. That was very unfortunate to the run. The Sentinels, if you run past them, they'll sort of despawn. But if you're stationary in a super, they just debuff you. It is quite annoying. This was the most annoying. Like if I was to try and speed run, you know, Birthplace next week or tomorrow. Oh, Birthplace is so much easier than Inverted Spire. It's not even funny. The amount of difficulty to try and do Inverted Spire quick as opposed to Birthplace. I'm comparing the two, yes, because Birthplace is out this season. It's no competition, right? Birthplace is, like, I'm on about trying to do them quickly. Trying to do Birthplace quickly, very easy to do in my opinion. You know, very easy. I'll maybe try and chase some good times next week because now I'm fully aware on, you know, what you do with that GM on speed and stuff. But inverted, there's so much that can go wrong with your run. It's unbelievable how much stuff can go wrong with your run. And then there's the boss to think about as well. When you're Consecration slamming the boss, you know, it's quite difficult. It's a skill set in itself. I'll discuss a little bit more on that at length when we get to the boss fight. You know, I know that with the Consecration Slam you've got to slide to activate and stuff, but if you're stuck on a platform trying to Consecration Slam a target over and over, it's quite difficult to pull off. Now, I'm using a paddle controller, and it's quite difficult even for me on controller to do this, right? Like, I'm on about Consecration Slam and back-to-back, and I know somebody told me, oh, just pull back on your thumbstick. Easy for you to say, though, isn't it? It's always easy for somebody at a distance to say, just do this. That will remedy your run. Just do this. I'll only take advice off 47 other players, thank you, not others, not yourself. I'll only take advice off people who are faster than me. I think that's a given. It's very easy to sit down on a bench and say, you kind of messed up at timestamp 1926. You know, where's your video at? I want to see your run. And I don't mean that in any funny way. You know, look, you can say things to people. You can be mean to people, fair enough, but where's your run at then? Have you got something to back up your stuff? If you can back up your argument, I have no problem with anybody. When somebody says, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that, when they themselves don't do anything, I just disregard what they say, basically. So I chose to take out these Harpies because we've actually cleared the ads, so I have not got Synthoceps proc, so we're going to deal with this barrier. That was a bad glacier because I was not prepped and ready for shield break. But I will be now. Wait for shield to go down. How can Witherhoard miss from 2 meter? We get our Radiant shield break. Witherhoard all loading nerf is annoying. That would have been loaded by now. Yes, they did nerf. They did nerf Witherhoard, and it does. When you try to play aggressive with Witherhoard, it can be annoying when it doesn't load itself because they nerf the time on auto and holster on Witherhoard specifically. Why they did this, I really don't know. Why did they do it? It makes no sense to me why they did that. Okay, so the RPC we're just going to deal with them. We are going to deal with some of this damage to this Hydra. But ultimately, we should be skipping the Hydra. If I was to run this back, I would try a better job at just skipping him. But this Overlord's pushed me anyways, so I'm just going to Consecration Slam, kill, and then move on. I'm not even going to kill the Minotaur. Probably not. Yeah, we're not clearing any of that. So that's that done. Right. Now, I'm just going to pop Super just in case, just to foolproof my run, because there is always that 5 to 10% chance of you dying here on a Sparrow. You know, Cyclops being buggy with their shots where they clearly are going to miss you, but then they can still 1 KO you in air as well, in the middle of the air. It's crazy. It happened to me on the run before this. I was just minding my own business, trying to run past Cyclops. He one-shot me in the air, and I was super mad about it because it was a very good run up until that point. So I didn't want that happening on this run. I was like, you know what, I'm just supering it. It doesn't matter. You know, I can get my super back anyways. It makes no odds. We need to repop a bottle because my bottle has 5 minutes left. I hate these bottles. Why have they got times on them? Why isn't it just pop a bottle for a day, you get the buff for a day? You know, and I know you can't have multiple bottles at once, I don't think, but just have the buff last for a few hours. 48. Why 48 minutes? Why so random with the buffs? Anyways, so we need to do with our damage plus baton. We're going to do some damage here. But we're going to wait for him to rotate. Because there's no Synthoceps. We're not going to use super just yet, but I am going to. I'm wanting to spawn in more harpies, basically. Right? He's going to go through his cycle anyways, which this generally people will see his full cycle until he ports to mid anyways, so it doesn't matter this phase. There's no real time gain to be made on like this first play because it plays the same every time pretty much. So look, we use super there, that deals with everything. Then we've got Consecration Psalms to use. We're not going to pop Transcendence because we want to pop it on next play. Next play is very, very difficult to pull off. I must admit to you, it's a very hard playstyle list to pull off when you're stuck on a platform. It's very difficult to Consecration Slam something back-to-back on controller like this. I must admit, it was tough this. So, snipers spawn in, right? We are going to do some Consecration Slam to boss. We have biotic enhancements. We get our Transcendence. All snipers are dealt with. Our damage. Look at that. It's so annoying. Why can Consecration Slam not go through that platform? It's so annoying. So we can't fully utilize. Ads have not spawned up yet. I think they are now though. Or about to. So yeah, they're about to do that now. So we're basically going to use super instead. This will help me get my damage. We'll do some Consecration Slam. It actually dealt damage that time, so it's a little buggy on how it exactly works. But we do Witherhoard, then super. Then that will deal with the entire plate. This plate's an absolute nightmare to try and do quickly. It's one of the hardest things I've done in a while on trying to do something fast. It really was difficult and annoying, but we got through it with Glacial Quake. We now get the worst bin RNG possible. Look at this. We nearly wipe. So look at this. So we're weak, but we need to push up to activate Consecration and kill this fool very quickly. We pop a Transcendence because we're weak there. It really doesn't matter that I popped it, to be honest. That actually shackled him anyways. Ads will spawn up, so they spawn on left. So let's see if we can try and kill some of them. I'm looking at special ammo drops as well. We are healthy on ammo. That's one thing. Some fanatics behind me. We'll get those. Transcendence runs out. Then we whip out the machine gun a little bit. That will build up some darkness energy anyways. Adds in mid. Get rid of those fools. Then we need to quickly do some damage. So we need to start doing that. So the boss, we need to get him to settle. What I mean by that is this. When he just stands for a moment, you can do plenty of damage with hard and stuff. We're not going to Consecration Slam him because we don't have access to Synthoceps right now. So what we're focusing on actually is getting my Transcendence bars up and getting a super, which that's exactly what's happening. I could probably afford a Consecration Slam him once, but, you know, what's the point? It's basically getting to the next phase anyways, and we've got plenty of special to spam, so I opt to do that instead. Okay, so next add spawn up. This is a bit of a nightmare to do like quickly because the harpies basically ruin this. Part of me wishes there was not harpies on this floating in the air, because if you haven't got, you know, like a machine gun, I have got a machine gun obviously, and I am going to use it in a minute, but you know, when you're trying to Consecration Slam a target and you've got floating harpies that are just in your way basically and just eating your time, that's all the time eaters of harpies, that's what they are. So now we're just trying to deal with them with the LMG, which the LMG is doing a half decent job. I know it's not arc, but the thing about it is I wanted a stasis one for energy for Transcendence, and it worked out better this way. Even though I can't get a shield pop with the arc energy blast, you know, when you match a weapon, that was fine. So harpies are dealt with. Now we need to do some Witherhorde damage. So this is where Witherhorde's party trick is coming in. So even though, yeah, I didn't have an anti-barrier shotgun on, which would have been better for the run up to the boss, believe that, yes, but I think this is better, like for just overall fighting the boss when you've got lots of Witherhorde to use. It was better for me anyways, at least. So we're going to pop a Transcendence here. There's harpies in the air, but we need to focus the goblins really. We can go all the way to the boss and activate the Consecration, which I'm trying to actually send him to the next phase. His next phase is at the letter P to break his head off. So I was actually wanting to push the phase, but I got to the point where I was like, oh, Transcendence is about to run out. Harpies are still up. I'll just deal with the harpies. So that's exactly what I did. So I'm just dealing with the harpies now. The Origin perk, the Vanguard Origin perk helped me out a little bit as well, getting health regen on kills. It's pretty decent. This Chain of Command is a very good LMG. When you need a stasis LMG, it's got some good rules on it with Demo on it and Osmosis or Adrenaline Junkie. It's a very interesting LMG, and it done the job for me in this. It really did. So now we're approaching final phase. We're 2650. Boss is about to have his head broken off, which is about to happen now. There we go. So we have super plus a Transcendence to use. I'm probably going to use my super first, because there's not many fanatics on this phase. It's not too much of a problem, to be honest. So I'm just going to try and chunk the boss. He's miles away, though. I thought he was a bit closer than that. So I popped super 3 seconds too soon, but we are chunking him. I'm going to make sure the fanatics to my right are dead. Then we're going to get out of there because he nearly kills me. Imagine if he did. We'll pop a Transcendence, and that will be a solo GM on this. Probably my last run of the week. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.